Welcome to another episode of the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. I'm your host, John. Today's episode is another mysterious legend known as Planet X. And we got some space music on here in the background. Upbeat space music. And we're going to tell you a brief description and brief analysis of this so-called planet X. So we're going to draw Earth and Planet X. We're going to show you how big Planet X would be compared to Earth. And I want to start off this broadcast here because this is a mysterious planet. There is no confirmed sightings of this planet. We can only theorize that it's in existence. We don't know for sure that this is even a real planet, or does it exist? We're going to explain why in this episode. I want you to take 30 seconds and just listen to this and think about that. I'll be right back. All right, so this is a live show. Bear with me. This is a hypothetical planet. No one knows if it really exists or not. That's the unsolved mystery about it. So Planet X. Ever since August 2006, when Pluto was downgraded to a dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union, our solar system has only officially claimed 8 planets, which Earth is one of them. Recent research, however, hints at the existence of a mysterious 9th planet known as Planet X, and some people call this Planet 9. Somewhere far past even Pluto, but it's way past Neptune, is the last planet, because Pluto is just a dwarf. In the dark recesses of space beyond the reach of most of our most advanced sensors and technology. While the combined effort of 60,000 scientific-minded volunteers poring over troves of data and information, I couldn't even produce hard evidence of such a planet. Experts say that they do not have indirect evidence of its existence. Specifically, they say that it appears as if the orbits of several objects in our solar system located in the distant Kuiper Belt. So the Kuiper Belt is, you got the asteroid belt that orbits around Earth and the terrestrial planets: Mars, Venus, Earth, Mercury, and Mars, Mercury, Venus, Earth. Yeah, they're the terrestrial planets. And you got asteroid belt that orbits around them. Then you got the Jovian planets, which are, they don't have a surface basically, and that's Jupiter. That's Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Very funny. Uranus, Neptune. So then you got the Kuiper Belt that orbits around those planets, the Jovian planets, and that's what they're talking about, the Kuiper Belt. Located in the distant Kuiper Belt are being affected by a massive unknown body theorized to be at least as large as Neptune. While current technology cannot yet confirm the presence of such a shadowy planet, which is said to be 1,000 times dimmer than Pluto, experts are hopeful that coming advancement in the detection equipment and telescopes paired with machine deep learning will help reveal the identity of the lurking ninth planet. So, and here's a picture of it's a dark planet, and there's Earth, so you kind of see the comparison. It's a dark planet, and it also has 10 to 20,000 year orbit. Now, it's kind of hard to understand, but it isn't either. If you think about it, it takes 10 to 20,000 years for it to orbit completely around the sun. And I'm going to show you about that too. So we're speaking of that, like, we're going to draw. This is what it's said to have an orbit. It's not your typical orbit. It's kind of slanted, and it's longer on that side, and it's shorter on this side. So, and we could just pretend that this is the sun for right now while we're talking about this. It takes this, and then it's gonna go around and around, around and around. This takes 10 to 20,000 years for it to go around and come back to the circle, and that's where it's closest to the sun. They say when that happens, we're going to experience some massive disasters, but that's for people that want to, like, fearmonger. And here's what the normal orbit would be. Like this, like on Earth here. This is the typical orbit. Pretend this is the sun for right now, and it would orbit around equally around the whole thing. When this is planet X's orbit, is said to be oblong and diagonal. So that kind of explains it to you using optics. So our solar system is 1 in 500 solar systems known in the Milky Way galaxy. About 4.5 million years ago, when a cloud of interstellar dust collapsed, resulting in a solar nebula, which is a swirling disk of material. This collided to form our solar system today. In our solar system is a star that the planets revolve around. That is known as our sun. But there's also theories that say that we live in a binary solar system, meaning two suns. This is just a theory. This is not fact. But some scientists say that the Earth revolves around the first sun, and the second sun failed, and that's what planet X is said to be orbiting around way out there beyond Neptune, is a failed star, dwarf star that used to be a sun. So that's another theory, but since we're talking about suns. But here we're drawing planet X as its relative to Earth. So back to the sun. The planets revolve around the sun. Then the planets that revolve around it are divided into two categories, terrestrial and Jovian. Terrestrial planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, as I said before. Jovian planets are next, and they are composed of gas giants, Saturn and Jupiter, and ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. They also say that planet X is theorized to be one of these Jovian planets. I'm not sure which kind, but it says it's... The scientists theorize that there is no surface on planet X, so it would have to... And that's one of the characteristics of a Jovian planet. There is no surface. So Jupiter, you can, if you ever did make it up there, you could go up there. There's nowhere to stand. It's just gas giant, and the thing in the red thing in the middle, that's a giant tornado, basically, swirling around forever. So you would not be able to stand on Uranus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune. They are gas giants. And Uranus and Neptune would have a surface, but you would never make it because you'd be frozen solid before you even got there. It's an ice giant. Note that on most of the Jovian planets, they have no solid surface and have multiple moons. Orbiting around the terrestrial planet is called the asteroid belt, which is a flat disk of rock remnants from the solar system's formation. Another belt lies much farther out and orbits the Jovian planets. This is known as the Kuiper Belt. It is home to many icy asteroids and dwarf planets such as Pluto. So that's where Pluto is, in the Kuiper Belt. It used to be a planet. They used to think it was a planet, but now it's just a dwarf planet out in the Kuiper Belt. After the Kuiper Belt, you have the Oort cloud, a vast collection of icy debris. This is considered the edge of the solar system. So somewhere past Neptune, but before the Oort cloud, is said to be this huge planet called Planet X. Planet X is said to be 8 times the size of Earth. The mass of the planet is 10 times Earth's mass. So it's heavy too. So, and that doesn't really make sense to me, because they say it's a Jovian planet. But well, I guess it does make sense, because it's Jovian, but it's frozen solid. So yes, it would be heavy. Because anything that's frozen solid, the mass increases. So yeah, that does make sense. So the mass is 10 times Earth's mass. And Earth's distance from the Sun is 7 times that of Neptune at its closest point. And the orbital period is said to be between 10,000 and 20,000 years. Remember this. Remember I talked about the orbital period, where it goes around. So maybe it's all the way out here, and it's away from the Sun. And it comes, when it comes all the way back, because everything in a circle comes back. They're saying maybe when it comes back, it's not going to be so nice for the Earth. This is all just theory, but why I get upset over it, can't really control these forces of nature and the solar system and the galaxy. It is just an interesting topic, I believe. Which just sparks the topic of the 10 to 20,000 year orbit. Will we see in our lifetime the orbital period of the planet X when it comes closest to the Sun? If it does exist, will this planet cause massive disasters when it does get close to the Sun? These are all questions that have yet to be answered. So back to Planet X. Planet X, there is another object in our solar system. They have confirmed that there is something pulling. They don't know if it's a planet or not. It has been scoffed at in the past, but around 2004, the talk of Planet X got a little more serious. That's around the same time when they made Pluto the dwarf star. Most modern astronomers don't realize that there are ancient references of astronomical astronomy and astronomical knowledge, like from the Sumerians and the Mayans. So this is a dark, dark planet. What if our solar system is a binary solar system, like I said earlier, meaning two suns, but the other sun is a failed sun? And what if in the area of the failed sun there was a giant planet that was rotating around it? This could be where Planet X is located. Like I said, we don't know. This is all theory. This planet is so large that it's theorized to have been the source of many disasters that have happened on this planet. And it's also theorized in saying how it's affecting like big solar objects like Uranus and Neptune. They have been changing their expected paths like considerably because some object out there is changing the path, the gravitational pull. It could be Planet X. It is theorized to have been the source of many disasters that have happened on this planet in the past. could this planet be the planet that the ancient aliens originated from and visited here on Earth to repair their planet's atmosphere by mining for gold? This planet X, according to the Mayans, is 8 times the size of our Earth. Could planet X's inhabitants have been the ones that the Sumerians talked about? Like when they talk about Anunnaki, meaning those from heaven who have come to Earth. Is this where they come from? Planet X. So this spawns the question, why did they ever leave our planet? And also, the answer could be, they never left our planet. Chances are they have never left, and they are hiding and observing us all along, if you believe that type of thing. I'm not saying either here nor there. There are thousands of stone tablets from the ancient Sumerians proving that they discussed the Anunnaki, and that is where we get these theories from and on and about Planet X. Does this Planet X have an extra long orbit? And could it be on its way to coming close to the Earth again during this long orbit around the Sun? And when this orbit comes close to us, will it cause another massive disaster? When the Mayans predicted the end of the world in 2012, were they actually talking about Planet X? These are all good questions. Sometimes when you see pictures of planet, they do have pictures of Planet X, but they can't confirm that it's a planet. But you also see like a bright background in it, and that's where the binary sun theory comes from. Is that actually a failed star that is like burning out? We don't know. That's the mystery. The Sumerians left almost 1 million texts behind for us to look at on stone tablets. These tablets are written in stone, chiseled, and some are clay tablets where they wrote it in wet and then they let it dry. So they never change and they can't be altered. So what is written on there is pretty much, you can pretty much guarantee that that's fact. Now, the way we interpret that fact is open to debate. Could this Planet X be just a case of misinterpreted facts? Could be. We don't know what the people were thinking before Christ. That's when these ancient texts were made. BC. So we don't know what they were thinking back then, and we're trying to read it now. It could be misinterpreted. Very very likely to be misinterpreted. So there's the Earth, and there's planet X. But the one thing we do know is those tablets never changed since they were written, since they were made. They weren't altered and they weren't changed. The only thing you could do to a tablet is smash it. So maybe some got smashed, but there are millions of them for us to look at. So, like, if you want to know more about Planet X and all the stuff that I talked about, it could be quite confusing. And let me just mention that we don't know that this is actually a planet. We don't know if it actually exists, but I would recommend going to Coast to Coast Live. They have like a 3-hour discussion of it, and I checked out the first hour of it, but you could probably learn a lot more than even I learned last night about this Planet X. So this was kind of a short one today, guys, but thank you for watching and checking me out again. I have posted 2 in a row. Can you believe that? I barely ever have time anymore to post content, but I still do. So, for now, peace out, true believers. This is Planet X. Peace out, true believers.